The war machine's arsenal. Every important Wehrmacht vehicle of WWII Wehrmacht fielded a remarkable diversity of machines in World War II, from heavy armor to agile recon cars and indispensable half. This breakdown covers every significant vehicle that saw action. Battle tanks. The Panzers, the spearhead of the Blitzkrieg. The journey began with the tiny Panzer I, originally a training vehicle but pressed into service in Poland and France, relying entirely on speed and sheer numbers. Despite its paper-thin armor and twin machine guns, the Panzer II served as the early Blitzkrieg's backbone and a vital stopgap, featuring a 20mm autocannon effective against light targets. Its chassis later proved invaluable for self-propelled guns. Seized from Czechoslovakia, the well-constructed Panzer 35T was known for its pneumatic transmission and saw distinct service in early campaigns. Its Czech-designed counterpart, the Panzer 38Ti, was considered one of the best light tanks of the early war, reliable and armed with a 37mm gun. Its robust chassis became the foundation for the famous Hetzer tank destroyer. Designed as the primary tank fighter, the Panzer III pioneered the tactically superior three-man turret, setting the standard for medium tank crew layouts. Even though its gun later struggled against heavier Soviet armor, the Panzer IV was the true workhorse, the only German tank in continuous production throughout the entire war, serving on every front and constantly armored and upgraded. Built in direct response to the T-34, the Panzer V Panther combined sloped armor, mobility, and a high-velocity 75mm gun, overcoming early mechanical issues to become widely regarded as one of the best medium tanks of the war. A legend of heavy armor, the Panzer V Tiger I struck fear with its thick, boxy protection and lethal 88mm gun, capable of dominating from long range despite being slow in maintenance. Finally, the massive Panzer VI Tiger II King Tiger was a 70-ton beast that married heavy armor with the Panther's sloped design. Nearly impervious from the front but logistically difficult, often straining its own engine and destroying bridges, tank destroyers and assault guns. The defensive backbone. Next came the tank destroyers and assault guns, led by the Stugee III, created by removing the turret from the Panzer III chassis to form a low-profile assault gun. It became the most produced German armored vehicle of the war, excelling as an ambush predator. The small, angular and cost-effective Jagdpanzer 38T Hetzer was built on the reliable Czech chassis. Its sloped armor and remote-controlled machine gun made it a deadly surprise. The Jagdpanzer IV, nicknamed Guderian's Duck, was a low-profile tank hunter carrying the powerful long-barreled 75mm gun, making it a deadly defensive weapon. The urgent need for greater firepower against Soviet armor led to the open-topped stopgap solutions of the Marder to mounting a heavy anti-tank gun onto an obsolete Panzer II chassis, and the Marder III utilizing the Czech 38T chassis for captured Soviet or German guns, both providing desperate firepower despite exposing the crew. Named the Rhinoceros, the Nashorn mounted a long 88mm gun on a light chassis, relying on its ability to snipe enemy tanks from extreme distances due to its near-total lack of armor protection. The Jagdpanther, often cited as the best tank destroyer of the war, achieved a perfect balance of speed, armor, and firepower by pairing the excellent Panther chassis with a lethal 88mm gun. Built on rejected Porsche Tiger hulls, the Ferdinand Elephant was a sluggish, heavily armored bunker buster with a unique Petril-electric drive, nearly indestructible from the front but initially lacking a machine gun for infantry defense. The final beast was the Jag Tiger, the heaviest armored fighting vehicle to see operational service, carrying a massive 128mm gun capable of destroying any tank, but was a logistical nightmare, frequently breaking down self-propelled artillery and anti-aircraft mobile fire support. Self-propelled artillery and anti-aircraft vehicles provided vital mobile fire support, starting with the early experiment of the SIG-33 Sturmpanzer I Bison, which mounted a heavy 15cm infantry gun on the tiny Panzer I chassis. It was comically top-heavy but provided mobile heavy fire. The Wespe Wasp successfully converted the obsolete Panzer II into a fast, mobile light artillery piece, capable of shooting and scooting to keep pace with the Panzer divisions. The Hummel Bumblebee carried a heavy 15cm howitzer on a hybrid Panzer III-4 chassis, delivering devastating indirect fire despite limited ammunition storage. The Grill Cricket mounted a heavy infantry gun directly onto the Czech 38T chassis, giving infantry units a way to blast through fortifications with direct fire. Designed specifically for urban combat, the boxy Sturmpanzer for Brumber Grouch Grizzly Bear featured a short-barreled large-caliber gun optimized for leveling buildings and blowing apart bunkers, a rare beast built on the Tiger I chassis. The Sturmtiger fired a massive 380mm rocket-propelled, depth charge designed to demolish entire city blocks with a single shot during urban uprisings. Anti-aircraft defenses included the Flak Panzer for Whirlwind, which featured a distinctive open-topped turret housing for 20mm anti-aircraft guns, creating a devastating wall of lead against low-flying aircraft and ground targets. Improving on this was the Panzer for Ostwind-Eastwind, which utilized a hexagonal turret with a single powerful 37mm flak cannon to engage aircraft at longer ranges. The interim Panzer 38T mounted a single 20mm gun on the rear of a 38T chassis, suffering from very limited armor protection that left the crew exposed. Armored half-tracks and prime movers. Logistics and mobility. Half-tracks and prime movers were essential for troop transport and towing, starting with the iconic Sd.Kfz 251 Hanomag half, the battle taxi of the Panzerwerfer, whose sloped armor and off-road capability allowed infantry to keep up with the tanks. The Sd.Kfz 250 was a smaller, shortened cousin used primarily for agile reconnaissance and command roles. The Sd.Kfz 9 Famo was the heavy lifter of the German army, a massive half-track designed to recover damaged tanks, often requiring 2 or 3 chained together to pull out a stuck Tiger. The Sd.Kfz 8 medium prime mover was crucial for towing the famous 88mm flak gun and heavy. The light Sd.Kfz 10 was widely used to tow small anti-tank guns, produced in large numbers to mechanize lighter artillery. The Sd.Kfz 11 was the standard light artillery tractor, responsible for towing field howitzers and Nebelwerfer rocket launchers, a unique hybrid of a motorcycle and a tracked vehicle. The Sd.Kfz 2 Kettenkrad was designed for paratroopers but found fame in the mud of the Eastern Front, where it could tow light guns and navigate difficult terrain. The Opel Maultier mule was an improvised logistical lifeline, a standard Opel Blitz truck with its rear wheels replaced by Panzer tracks to cope with the deep Russian mud. Armored reconnaissance vehicles. The eyes and ears. Armored reconnaissance vehicles acted as the eyes and ears of the Wehrmacht. The Sd.Kfz 222 was a light four-wheeled scout car featuring an angled armored body and a 20mm cannon turret. Fast and agile on roads, the Sd.Kfz 231 ATRAD was an 8-wheeled heavy armored car with a complex suspension and 2 driver positions front and rear, allowing for rapid escape without turning. Arguably the best armored car of the war, the Sd.Kfz 234 HAV's Puma combined high speed, an enclosed turret, and a potent 50mm tank gun, easily outfighting most Allied reconnaissance vehicles. The Sd.Kfz 263 radio car, based on the 8-wheel chassis, served as a mobile communications hub coordinating vast Panzer movements with its fixed superstructure and large frame antenna. Light utility, staff cars and motorcycles, essential transporters, and light transport included the VW Schwimmwagen Type 160, a Volkswagen-based amphibious car with a drop-down propeller, becoming the most mass-produced amphibious car in history. The Steyr 108 was a heavy off-road personnel car with a robust V8 engine, used for towing light guns and transporting troops. The rugged, air-cooled Steyr 1500A heavy staff car was favored by officers for its reliability in all climates. The massive Mercedes-Benz G4 was a 6-wheeled luxury touring car, more of a prestige symbol for high-ranking officials than a combat vehicle. The BMW R75 was a heavy military motorcycle featuring a driven sidecar wheel for off-road traction, a durable workhorse for dispatch riders, logistics trucks and transporters. Keeping the supply lines moving, logistical vehicles were the lifeblood of the army. The legendary Opel Blitz 3.6 was the primary cargo truck, reliable and simple, carrying everything and keeping supply lines moving. The Krupp Protze Kfz 69, known as the Boxer, was a 6-wheeled truck widely used to tow light anti-tank guns and transport motorized infantry, designed specifically for the brutal Eastern Front. The Raupenschlepper OST-RSO was a fully tracked, slow-moving tractor that traded speed for the ability to drag artillery through the deepest Russian mud and snow. The sturdy Henschel 33 was a heavy 6-wheeled truck used to haul heavy loads and engineering equipment. The Einheitsdiesel was a standardized diesel truck with 6-wheel drive and independent suspension, offering exceptional off-road performance despite its mechanical complexity.